What happens if we understand everything about the human mind? Then what? Like, how do we interpret like things such as anger and like love and all this sort of stuff? Like, can we really reduce them to something which we can logically understand? Or is there something more, right? I mean, like, that we will never be able to capture. That's where AI, I think, for me personally, the highest potential. I'm Paolo Burelli. I'm an associate professor here at the IT University of Copenhagen. And together with my colleague Stefan Heinrich, I'm leading the Brain Lab. From a purely scientific point of view, the core of what we would like to achieve is a better understanding of the human mind. Like that is that is the enabler for everything else. Can we actually slowly, not necessarily slowly, but accurately, with rigor, can we actually create like computational models of the human brain and the human mind in order to understand how certain things, how certain connections happen in the brain? Can we isolate, let's say, the visual cortex, so the part of the brain which actually does most of the processing of what we are seeing? Can we replicate it? Can we create an artificial like software that does what our visual cortex does? If we do that, we will understand a little bit better why the brain reacts. Why are we seeing evolutionary? We have been developed this ability to recognize within the first 100 milliseconds, even less of seeing something, recognizing whether there is a face or not, for instance, in what we are looking at. And in the far future, maybe get to the point where if somebody gets a lesion of the primary visual cortex, maybe we can create a chip which has a software which can actually recreate that part. And I don't know, here we're talking about next century research impact is maybe give vision again to some of these people. Our future is definitely gonna look in many ways like science fiction does. There are several reasons why that is the case. One reason is that oftentimes science fiction actually looks at scientific advancements and tries to it bases its actually picture of the future using scientific advancement. And another reason is because we as scientists are driven by narrative and stories, right? So oftentimes we actually turn science fiction into reality. So I think we're going into the direction of being able to interact with our computer, with our digital assistant, with our car, with our home in a way which is similar to how a certain specific superhero interacts with their artificial intelligence. And we will have probably human sounding and human-like companions which are able to help us in our activities. Our interaction with the world will look much less like today, where it's mediated through a keyboard and and will look much more like us walking and talking with androids and stuff like that. And I think the better we will understand the human mind, I think the better understanding we will have where does intelligence arise? What we can consider intelligence or what we can consider conscious or not. And I see that the more we understand how the mind works through our best bet is through the brain. The more we can actually get closer to give an answer to fundamental questions in life.